Hello, scientists. Today we are going to be working with animal needs and reviewing those things that an animal needs to survive, to grow, and to be able to reproduce. So let's take a look at our target. Today we're going to pretend to be a deer in its habitat. Today I will pretend to be a deer in its habitat so that I can understand the importance of the basic needs of animals. I will know I've got it when I can explain the basic needs of any animal. So let's start today by thinking, what are the basic needs of animals so they can survive, grow, and reproduce? So think on that for a minute. What does an animal need? What does an animal need to survive, grow, and reproduce? So I hope you thought of some things that an animal needs. I hope you thought that they need shelter. And I hope you thought that they need water, food, space, oxygen. Sometimes we use the word air or oxygen. The right climate. We need an animal to be living in the environment that is best for it, the right climate. And then also an animal needs to be able to reproduce. So today we are going to learn more about deer. That's just one animal that's pretty popular in our community. This time of year we'll start to see deer because we might see deer crossing the street. We might see them in our yards. Deer are on the move right now. So as you listen, think about, how does the deer get its needs met? So we're going to go to Pebble Go today. It's been a while since we've been there. Our username is Dry Ridge and Reed. And I want to learn some things about the deer with you. So when we're going to Pebble Go, we'll go to animals.
Animal.
We'll go to
mammals.
Well, actually, I'm going to put in the search bar. Let me put in the search bar deer. There we go. So I am going to read some information to you about deer. Let me move
woodland mammals.
Let me just move a little bit. So this is a mammal. A deer is a mammal, and they do live in the woodlands. So what is the deer's body? Deer are mammals with hooves. And when we're talking about hooves, we're talking about down here. They have 4 long legs that help them run fast. Most deer weigh between 100 and 225 pounds. And a deer can be a male deer and a female deer. Also, we can have baby deer. And we've been learning that mammals are warm-blooded. They have hair or fur. And as you can tell, our deer has hair. They breathe with lungs, like we do with our lungs. And they give live birth. That means when they have a baby, it'll be a live birth, an animal similar to them. So now let's focus on their habitat. Deer live in many places. They live in Asia, they live in Europe, North America, and South America. They are often found near forest, and most deer live in small groups. So I want to take a look at that range where they can be found. This is where deer can be found. So here we are, North America. Remember, Kentucky's right about here. And so the purple is where, let's look at our map key. The purple is where deer can be found. South America, Europe, Asia, all these different places are where we can find deer. Okay. Let's take a look now at the food. And remember, they live mostly in small groups. So what food do they eat? Deer eat plants. In the warm months, they eat grass and leaves and flowers. They even munch on bark and small branches in the winter, because think about what things look like in the winter around Kentucky. We lose many of the leaves off the trees. The grass becomes either brown or maybe gets covered up with snow. It's not that good to eat. Flowers, they're not in bloom right now in the winter months, but there is still bark and small branches on the trees. So they will munch on that. Of course, in the warm months, they love to eat the grass, leaves, and flowers. What about a deer's life cycle? I think you guys will love this picture. And if you've ever seen a mama deer with her baby, the babies are beautiful. Take a look at how the fawn looks different than the mom. It has the little tiny spots on it. Females will give birth to 1 or 2 young in the spring. Most young deer are called fawns. Deer live about 10 years in the wild. And so this is what we call a fawn. Fun facts. Male deer will fight each other, and a male deer is easy to spot. Different than a female deer, it has antlers, and they are trying to fight with each other to determine whose area this is. And so some deer will also make beds out of plants. Deer can walk a few hours after being born. Those are just some fun facts. And male deer will fight each other to establish whose area this is. When you are on Pebble Go, there is a video that you will want to enjoy, and it just shows the deer moving around and how they're eating the grass, eating the flowers and the leaves. So you can watch that. And then also you can listen to the sound a deer makes. So make sure you turn that up so you can hear the sound, and you can go back and watch the video. There are more things that you can read about deer, because I know some of you are really interested in that. Here's some books about white-tailed deer that you might want to read as well. So let's get back to this. So our vocabulary today is habitat. A habitat is where an animal lives. And I want you to think about the places you've been seeing deer. Have you been seeing them in your backyard? Have you been seeing them in your front yard? Do they stay there very long? Do you have a wooded area close by? If you do, take a look. See if you see any deer in there. They usually like to come out in the evening. So start taking a look for deer. See where it is that they live so that you can learn more about them. Okay, so today we're going to pretend to be a deer in its habitat looking for its needs of food, water, and shelter. So I'll let you begin to work with your teacher so that you can find out how you're going to be a deer. So, as you're working today, think about the needs of all animals. Remember, it's food, water, shelter. Those are our 3 basics. They need air and oxygen. They need the right climate. They need to be able to reproduce, and they need space. They must have that space. If many animals are living close together in the same space, they will not be able to get their needs met.